Banks and income. Money, money, money. Banks are also very involved in the economy. They help people keep and invest their money. They also provide loans to people who don't have enough money for something that they need. Banks are much safer now than they were in the 1920s and the 1930s because they must be insured. So you can't lose your money, like what happened to hundreds of banks when they closed during the Great Depression. So banks is what we're talking about today. Banks function to provide checking accounts, savings accounts, and loans to people in the community. That's the job of a bank. People put money into banks because it is safer than keeping the money at home. Checking account. It's an account where you can withdraw money by writing a check. A savings account. An account that earns interest but is not withdrawn by writing a check. Listen, 5th grade, in a savings account, if you put money into a savings account, you can't get that money out of that account without actually going to the bank and taking it out yourself. There's no check that you can write. Savings account is just like what it says. It is for saving. Now, with a savings account, the bank will actually give you money because you're putting money into that account. So that's what we say when we say that it earns interest. That means the bank will pay you a little bit of money, a little bit of interest for keeping your money in their bank. So the more money you have in your savings account, the more money that they will give you in interest. A loan. A loan is money that is borrowed, that is usually repaid with additional interest charges. So we borrow money from banks. Now, when we borrow money from the bank, we don't pay back the same amount that we borrowed. You have to pay back more than what you borrowed. That is what interest is. Okay, let's say you borrow $100 from the bank. Well, you may end up paying back $150 to the bank because they are charging you to borrow the money. That's how a bank makes money, because a bank is a business. And they make money by loaning money to people who need it. That's how most people buy a home. They borrow money from the bank. That's how most people buy a car. They borrow money from the bank. FDIC. It means the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. The FDIC provides insurance for the money people have deposited in banks. So if the bank closes down, you will not lose your money. You will receive a check for however much money you had in the bank. So banks are safe, is what the FDIC is all about. It helps make the bank safe. Income. Income is money earned through employment. That's what it is. It's the money you're paid. It's called income. Employers are the buyers of labor services. Employers are what they call the boss, the man or woman in charge. Employees are the sellers of labor services. They are the workers or the laborers. They're the ones doing the work. Employers will hire people with the skills they need at their businesses. Employees with good skills and a good education usually make more money. So there you have it. If you want a good job, then get a good education and get the skills required for that job, and employers will hire you and you'll make the money. Last but not least, have a nice day. So banks and income. There you have it. And I'm about to show you how much money I have right now in my wallet. $1.